Hello, Kendrick. It's Mrs. Fisher. I wanted to maybe give you some feedback. I'm sorry to hear you're feeling frustrated about the program. So I copied your program into NetBeans, and let's take a look. First thing, we don't need these private static variables. So I'm going to delete these. We'll talk about some of that private static variables later. So I'm going to get rid of that. If I come down into the program, the goal of this program, Kendrick, was to allow the user to type in any 3 words and we would sort them in the right order. So I'm going to add at the top, I'm going to add the Java util so we can import Java util so we can go ahead and ask the user to enter something. Okay, so then in here, I like the way you have the 3 string variables, S1, S2, and S3. But I'm going to take out equals Charlie, equals Abel, and equals Baker because we don't want to give them a value just yet. We want to let the user tell us what value. So I'm going to do a system. So I'm going to do a system.out.println, and I'm going to say enter 3 words. All right. And now I need to read those 3 into our S1, S2, and S3 variables. So I'll do S1 is equal to in.next. Okay. Oh, I forgot my scanner. I forgot to actually declare the in object. So let's do that. So scanner in equals new scanner parentheses system.in. Okay. I read in the first one. Let's go ahead and read the second one. So I'm going to do the same thing. S2 is equal to in.next, whatever the user types in. And then S3 for the last one equals in.next. So at this point, the user has entered 3 words. They could be Charlie, Abel, Baker. They could be anything. And then I think it looks, I didn't get a chance to look at this too closely, but I think you have the if-else structure from class all set up. So this says if word 1 is less than word 2, then check and see if word 2 is less than word 3. If it is, they're already in sorted order, and then it continues on. So it looks like you did a really good job of taking what we talked about in class and coding that into this program. Down here, let's see, we have else if S2 is less than S3, and if it is, then you're saying if S1 compared to S3 is less than 0, which is good, but you see you have this little symbol out here, this semicolon, kiddo. We want to get rid of that. That's one of the pitfalls of if statements is people forget they put a semicolon there a lot of times by accident. So we don't want that. And then we have our else, and then it looks like maybe because of that if, things got a little messed up here. So let's go ahead and put a semicolon at the end. And then it looks like, let's see, do we have an extra curly bracket? Yeah, I think we might have maybe 2 extra curly brackets at the bottom. So, maybe not. There we go. Okay. What I'm going to do now, Kendrick, is I'm going to run it and see how we're making out. So let me go ahead and click run. I'm going to enter 3 words. So I'll go ahead and enter Charlie, Abel, Baker, and it prints them out as Abel, Baker, Charlie, which is correct. Okay, let's run it again, and this time we'll put them in order to start with. So Abel, Baker, Charlie, and they still come out the right order. We'll run it again, and let's try 3 different things. So I can put in Ken, Ken, I can put in Joe, and I can put in Sam. Okay, Joe, Ken, Sam. Looks like that's working. So I think you were real close, kiddo. I think the biggest problem you had here was up here, you don't want to set the 3 variables to those words, Abel, Baker, or Charlie. You want to let the user type in anything they want. All right, we'll still talk on Monday, but I wanted to just give this to you so maybe you could listen and see if it makes any more sense to you now, and ask questions again on Monday. All right, I'm going to take actually, why don't we take a look at your other program while we're here. So I have your 3-4. Okay, so it looks like 3-4 says please enter a number. Then you're reading in a number, and you're doing that 3 times. And this is kind of what I was talking about with the strings in the other examples. This is perfect. And then it says determine if they are in the right order. Now I think what happened here, kiddo, is you're using 1 equal sign when you're comparing A, B, and C. 1 equal sign, this is actually saying set A to B, set B to C. When you want to compare 2 numbers, it has to be equals equals. Okay, so I'm going to actually copy this code and put it into a NetBeans project. Let me just copy from here down. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back over to NetBeans. Let me see. I have a file folder here called Chapter 4. There we go, and I can just go ahead and put this in there. Alright, so I need to do create my scanner object. I guess I didn't copy that part. So I'm going to do scanner in, oops, sorry, not in. Try this one more time. Equals new scanner system.in. Alright, then I go ahead and I ask the user to enter 3 numbers, and then this is where you were at here, kiddo, and it says if, and this is again one equal sign, so instead I want to say if A equals B. Now, the other thing I want to know is, does B also equal C? So I have to do an and symbol, and is B equal to C? And if that's true, then they're all the same value. That's awesome. Alright, so I think you just had your syntax wrong here. You have to make sure that you repeat values on either side of the equal statement. You can't say A equals B equals C. You have to say, is A equal to B and is B equal to C? Alright, let me get you started on the next one, and then I'll let you finish it up. So next thing is if A is less than B and B is less than C. Because all we want to know is, are they in increasing order, decreasing order, or neither? So if A is less than B and B is less than C, then we know that they are in increasing order. And I can do a system.out.println, and I can say the numbers are in increasing order. Okay? And I'd like you to finish this up by doing the last else if. So now check and see if they're in decreasing order. And the last check would be if they're not increasing or decreasing or equal, then they're neither. Okay, give it a try, and I'll see you on Monday.